Hello. Hi. Hi. I am breathing as one right now. Thank you for a beautiful song.
You are welcome.
So my name's Jen Lyons. And the theme for 2026 is open at the top. The theme for August is the fear and the furious. Don't be afraid. Today's topic, anger as a force for change. The book of the month is Brené Brown's Dare to Lead, Brave Work, Tough Conversations, Whole Hearts. She writes, when we dare to lead, we don't pretend to have the right answers. We stay curious and ask the right questions. Right. And beautiful Gandhi offers this powerful perspective on anger. Use your anger for good. Anger to people usually means something negative, but anger's like electricity. It's just as powerful and just as useful, but only if you use it intelligently. It can be just as deadly and destructive if you abuse it. If we channel it, we can transform anger into a power that can move the world. Anger, to me, is a gift. Yeah, anger's not the enemy. What we do with it can make a huge difference. So let us affirm together. I channel my anger into sacred, purposeful action. Okay, cool beans. Now, let's welcome Reverend Dr. Kathleen Johnson.
Thank you so much, Jen. That was powerful. Thank you so much.
Let me get out of your way.
Okay.
I think I left it there. That's okay.
Here, you can have it back. Yeah. So with that in mind, did you ever hear about the musician who hit his violin in anger? Well, he got arrested for domestic violence. I have one more for you. Okay, what happens when a snowman loses his temper, when he gets angry? He has a meltdown. Oh, so Ernest Holmes and many, many great teachers, as you can see, Gandhi as well, over the ages, have taught that emotions are energy that we can use for good. And they you can not only use for good, but they help to shape manifestation, to shape our lives, to support manifestation and shape our lives. So, first story. Let's start with a story. There was a small village who had a watchtower that was at the edge of a forest, and it was there for the safety of the village. So one night, in the middle of the night, the man in the watchtower started ringing the bell. over and over and over again, stirring everybody awake. Well, there were some villagers who were, when they were awakened up, were going, "Would you please stop? This is disturbing my peace." And then there were others, some of the others who saw it as a sign and actually looked outdoors and saw the smoke coming up out of the forest and gathered water, cleared the dry brush around their house, and saved their homes. And so this little metaphor is just so beautiful for describing anger, the importance of anger. Anger is the alarm of the soul. It's a soul alarm. And what it does is it gives us some information that needs our attention. So anger isn't wrong. It's inviting us to listen deeply to what it's trying to communicate with us. It may be communicating something like a boundary's been crossed, an injustice has occurred, a wound, false belief still has not been healed yet. Or it could be letting us know that something that we deeply value is in danger. So you can use your imagination of what all those different things can be. A boundary crossed, an injustice, a wound that hasn't been healed, or something deeply valued is in danger. Those are really important things to remember. I remember when I first learned that quite some time ago, it was like a huge awakening for me because I had been taught as a child, you don't get angry in this house. And so I learned to suppress it. And sometimes I wasn't even aware. Yeah. What did you say, Linda?
I said you're Nordic.
No, I'm partially Hungarian, just like you. But anyway, that was what was taught. When my mother was from the British Isles, and she was the one who was really into, not getting angry. So anyway, the point here is that when we honor our anger with curiosity and ask questions, what is your message for me? What is this anger all about? And we take it into spiritual practice and listen, or we journal, whatever works for you. Then we can use it as a tool for not only personal spiritual growth. We can use it for powerful action in the world. So let me illustrate. In Philadelphia's Tioga neighborhood, youth were living with ongoing gun violence. And so there was a lot of tension and stress and anger in the community around all of this. Well, Tony Royster Jr., who had lost a dear friend to gun violence, used that anger for a good purpose. And this is what he did. He formed something called the Positive Movement Entertainment Drumline. He had been a drummer himself. And so what he decided to do was offer teens a safe place to channel their anger and their frustration and their fear into music. He instills values in the teens of discipline, expression, and community. And so if you can imagine, when they meet together every Wednesday night in the local church to practice together, all of these teens drumming and using that, channeling that frustration, that anger energy, that fear into some kind of creative expression. And it's helping the youth to heal and to regain hope in their lives. Very powerful. Channeling anger into something good, into creative expression. So I love Gandhi's analogy of anger like electricity. Anger like electricity. And our spiritual awareness, as we do spiritual practice, as we meditate and so on, as we learn to be the observer self through meditation, we create that space, that space where we can take a breath, pause, and observe what is going on. What's this anger or the fear or whatever it is? We're talking about anger today. What is it all about? So our spiritual practice serves us in channeling this powerful energy of anger into some sort of purposeful action. So our spiritual awareness is the wiring for the anger's raw energy. So then we can learn to shift from our usual reactions, right? The reactivity that might come when something happens that we don't like, and use it then for some greater purpose. So you think about every social movement, major social movement, has come from outrage. Outrage that was turned into motivation to do something about it. I mean, think about Gandhi's a great example. Outrage. And he said anger was a gift for him. It moved him into action. That's such a powerful thing to be aware of, rather than to suppress and deny our anger when it arises. Understand it's there to be a gift, to be used. It's energy you don't want to waste. So science of mind is really, again, Ernest Holmes' teachings are all about how to bring intelligence and wisdom and love into play in using this very potent and catalytic energy. Ernest Holmes says, anger can be turned into love, and the very power that has been destroying can be made to build up. So love is not the absence of anger. Love can be the channel through which that powerful energy works toward healing, justice, and creative expression.
Say that one more time.
Yeah, love is not the absence of anger.
The anger.
Oh.
Into love, his quote.
Oh, yeah. Anger can be turned into love. And the very power that has been destroying can be made to build up. To build up. To build up, using love as a channel for healing, justice, and creative expression, or using that energy in that way. So many folks have said, just don't be angry, blah, blah, blah. Just move into action. Well, I really like this idea, is not denying it, but saying, oh, here's some powerful energy that I can use for good. I remember when I was teaching radical forgiveness some years ago, one of the things we would do would be to go and pound on the bed or something like that. And I'm thinking, all that wasted energy, we could have used it for some kind of good. So anyway, that's the enlightened thing that has taken place for me, is understanding it's energy we can use constructively. So anger in this way, used in this way, is basically says, this must change. And I want to give you an example of this, transforming this energy into sacred activism. You probably remember the story of Rosa Parks, but you may not know all the details. So Rosa Parks, at the time, led the youth division of the Montgomery branch of the NAACP. Did you know that? She was leading the youth. And so she said her anger over the lynching of the 14-year-old Emmett Till and the failure of his killers to be brought to justice inspired her to do what she did on the bus that time when she refused to give up her seat. She said it was intentional. It was defiant and intentional. She said that her defiance was an intentional act. She said, I was no more physically tired than I usually was at the end of a working day. I was not old, although some people have an image of me being old. I was 42. She said, no, the only tired I was tired of giving in. I was tired of giving in. Yes. So our yearly theme of open at the top means that we are open to possibilities. We stay open to guidance and listening. What is ours to do? And so when we listen to anger when it surges and allow it to direct our energy in the correct way, then we are using that moment for something really amazing and purposeful. So we already talked about the sacred pause, the pause between the stimulus when things happen and our response. So instead of reacting, we're responding. But Dean just showed me something else that we can do. I'm seeing him over there reminding me. Something else that we can do just to kind of calm the anger down a little bit so that we can think more clearly, because sometimes when we're overwhelmed with anger, the frontal cortex shuts down and we can end up doing some things that we really regret later. So one of the things he told me just to help tune it down a little bit, apparently these tapping points right here are to tap down anger. So everybody just want to, if you're getting angry, you can kind of help to tune it down a little bit, all right? And breathe. Yeah, breathing is the other one that's really important. Breathing, relaxing. I really like the breathe into the count of 7. Breathe into the count of 4, hold to the count of 7, and breathe out to the count of 8. That one has really served me well for all kinds of emotions, particularly when I'm trying to get to sleep. But, ways, we don't want to get rid of the emotion completely. We want to be able to channel it, but at least that will help us maybe get more clear-minded so that we can listen and know what is ours to do. So many wonderful tools available to us. Meditation, spiritual mind treatment, which is affirmative prayer, journaling, breathing, oh my gosh, visioning. So many wonderful tools that we teach here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Delaware. So when we stay open in hard times, we create a space for new possibilities in our minds, in our relationships, and in our world. And I love this. Anger can open the door, but love walks us through it.
Who said that?
I have no idea, but I found it. But I found it. And so we must learn to feel the heat of the anger without closing our hearts. And that is true spiritual maturity. All right, so Sharon and the band, you might want to come up while we're doing this. I'd like you to close your eyes for a moment. And think of something that has been on your mind, maybe even in the back of your mind, that might be going on in your life or in the world that you feel angry about. It might be outrage, it might be fury, it might be frustration, whatever. Those are all different forms of anger. So with eyes closed, just notice that. See it as a sacred invitation to deepen in awareness and choice and in growth. It's not something to be feared, suppressed, or denied. It's a powerful signal from your soul, pointing to where healing, boundaries, or justice are needed. So when we breathe into it, And maybe do a little tapping on the sides of just beside our eyes at the same time. Continuing to breathe. Breathe into the count of 4. Hold to the count of 7. And breathe out to the count of 8. So we're becoming conscious stewards of our emotional energy, using our anger, being an alchemist of our anger energy. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and then declare, I am love.
I am love.
I use this energy with love.
I use this energy with love.
For the good of all.
For the good of all.
Beautiful. So, staying open at the top, being willing to feel, willing to listen, willing to grow, willing to take action is how we turn something that has often been maligned, anger, into something sacred. Sacred activism, fuel for love, for truth, for meaningful change in the world. And so I'm so grateful to be sharing this with all of you today. And yes, I agree with Michelle. When I look out upon you, all I can feel is great love and appreciation for each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
Are you going to connect to the last congregational and set up the whole thing?
I can do that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This song is so perfect for today.